Hi, this is Kaisha McCrae. I'm a certified career and leadership coach, CEO, and founder of Growing Perspectives Career Consulting. You're listening to Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. Come and listen to us weekly as we highlight different professionals, business owners, as they share with us their career journeys, their successes, areas of growth, and more. So, once again, you can join us weekly here at Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. We are committed to supporting your growth, your success, highlighting different businesses, professionals, career paths. And once again, come grow with us and come listen in weekly to Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. Welcome and thank you for listening in. I'm Kaisha McCrae. I'm a certified career, executive, and leadership coach. I'm excited to have our guest today, and her name is Afrin Goti. And I'm very excited to ask her to share her background with us. So, we met a few months ago at a local Chamber of Commerce event, and I thought she would be a great person to come on the show. In a few moments, I'm going to ask her to tell us a little bit about her background, what she does today, and what she did before she started her business. And then I'll share with you what's coming up next with Growing Perspectives. I want to give a shout out first to Mike King. He was our sponsor for our recent Women in Leadership breakfast in the Midlothian area. And I want to give a shout out to Tracy Gerard. She was a phenomenal guest speaker. And to all the women leaders who joined us earlier this month. And a special thanks to Brian and Stratton College for your wonderful location. So now let's move over to our guests. Would you please introduce yourself and share with us what you do today?
Well, thank you, first of all, Kaisha, for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I'm Afreen Godi. I'm the owner of Thoughtful Minds Consulting. I provide trainings and support and workshops to organizations, schools, businesses, and helping them support in areas of diversity awareness, trauma informed care, stress management, and group dynamics.
That's awesome. That's awesome. First of all, when I met you, there was one topic. I love everything that you offer. One of the topics that really struck a chord with me when I heard you mention it was around trauma informed care. And with all of us experiencing COVID, those
Yes.
years of trauma,
Mhm.
and different things in the news over the last few years, can you give us a little insight? What comes with that particular service of trauma care? And if somebody wanted to contact you, how can they get more information?
Okay, first I'll do the easier one. If they
Yes.
want to get in touch with me, I have a website. I'm on LinkedIn. Um, Business cards all over the place. But yes, Thoughtful Minds Consulting or thoughtfulmindsconsulting.net is my information and website. So they can go there and there's a place where they can leave comments or in info@thoughtfulminds.net is my email address. So those are ways to get in touch with me.
That's perfect. And what is, I made an assumption.
Okay.
Some people listening to us, you're tuning in to Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. I have a special guest, and today's guest is Afreen Goti. And I just asked her a question about her business in terms of one of her services. She provides support for trauma care. What is trauma care first? Okay. And then tell us what are some of your services.
All right. So trauma informed care is basically informing a group of people what to do when dealing with people who have um, gone through trauma. Now, one misnomer is a trauma is not something that happens at one time and then you continue. Trauma is ongoing. So, for example, COVID happened to a lot of people at one time over the course of 1 or 2 years.
Yes.
However, many of us are still feeling the effects of COVID, right?
Absolutely.
So, we need to then deal with and show people how do you understand trauma in a person? What do you do to help them through it? And there are several different groups. I think everybody should probably go through it at one point or another, but educators are a big group.
Awesome.
uh, people in the healthcare industry, people in
Absolutely.
senior living centers, those types of places.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And thank you for sharing that. I heard you say your recommendation is that everyone should go through it at least once in
Yes,
your life.
right,
In certain careers, definitely this is very additive to you in your job, and especially with your clients. And it could be with your colleagues and it could be for
right,
yourself.
right. Because you don't know what a person has been through. And it is very easy for all of us to jump to conclusions when we see someone, we see a situation. For example, you see somebody who is houseless on the street. Too many times, I think most of us, myself included, make assumptions of why are they there? Why can't they get a job? Why don't they have a house? But we don't know their backstory. And if we look at them a little closer and find out what's going on, same thing. We don't know why a child comes in without his homework. Oftentimes we jump to conclusions. They were lazy, they didn't want to do it, they were playing
Mm,
video games. But it could be
interesting.
that they went through a trauma and are still going
Mm,
through it, like their mother or father had drug issues and they were taken away.
mm,
And this child had to then take care of his or her younger siblings. So knowing that
mm.
makes a person a better educator, a better nurse. And I feel like if we, if my saying in my business, if I can get you to look at the world through a different lens, then we'll all be better off.
That is awesome. I love that. Now, I heard you say the word educators and I saw a smile on your face. So tell us, what did you do before you started your current business?
Well, I am a recovering teacher.
A recovering
I
teacher?
know. 32 years. I served most of my time in middle school.
Excellent.
The last 5 years, I have also been substituting in school. So, what is that, 37 years in education,
That's awesome.
all here in Virginia.
Mm,
And I taught grades 4 through 12. My last 12 or 13 years was in a school with, or alternative, it was an alternative education center. And what that means is most of the kids there are there because they were suspended long term, fighting, bringing weapons to school, alcohol, drugs, anything like that. There were some kids who were in and out of the penal system. We had probation officers there on campus. But some of the kids are there just because they don't fit into the regular classroom, the mainstream.
interesting. Okay. Okay. So if you had to share with us one tip, I have two questions for
Okay.
you. Often when I ask guests to come on the show, most of us have transitioned in our careers at certain stages. So when you made that shift from education to what you're doing now, owning your business, what were some of maybe the top three tips that you would give anyone that has helped you to be successful with that transition?
Let's see. I would suggest finding a group of people who support you in not necessarily your industry, because mine is a little different than most people, but a networking group. I do a ton
Okay.
of networking.
Yes.
Um, there and there are a few groups to which I belong. One is the Women in Business. I think
Yes,
you
we
might know
saw each
Michelle, right? We
other.
saw
We
each
saw
other
each other
there.
last week.
So that's a great group. And there are people who can support you when you get down because owning your own business is very difficult. You have to go out there and get customers and clients.
Yes.
You have to do the marketing, the
Yes.
billing,
Yes.
for me, making each and every presentation different and
Yes.
important to each client. So
Absolutely.
have a networking group um, or a support group, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Don't give up. Okay. It's hard. It is so hard. And when you're out there
Mhm.
alone and you feel like, there's no one to support you. Now I have a great husband and family and they're all very supportive. And it's hard sometimes where you're like, okay, I'm just not getting the clients that I need. So you have
Right.
to not give up, be persistent, and just have that positive attitude that it will happen.
I
I
love
truly
it.
believe in a positive attitude that if you know that, okay, this person said no, but then the next person's going to say yes.
I love it. I love all of that. And I echo everything that you
Thank
say.
you.
So, once again, you're listening to Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. Our guest today is Afreen Goti. And I'm going to give her a few moments while I share with you what's coming up next with Growing Perspectives. And then she and I will dive in a little bit more about ways you can contact her. And I want to ask her a few more questions about her current business. So I'll tell you what's coming up next with Growing Perspectives Career Consulting. We just finished our Women in Leadership breakfast here in Midlothian earlier this month, and we are headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. So, our annual Women in Leadership brunch is Saturday, June 1st, and registration for that is available at our website at www.growingperspectives.com, also Eventbrite. Simply search under Women in Leadership Brunch, and we would love to have you join us. We always have a great group of women leaders. We have a special guest speaker, and her name is Leah Fleming, and she is an electrical engineer in the area. We want to see you in Charlotte. If you know of people, friends, neighbors, colleagues in the area, please share our event with them as well. And then the other item, this is a save the date. We are targeting Thursday, July the 11th for our annual Women in Leadership Summer Social. It will be in Richmond or Midlothian. We also have a wonderful speaker and can't wait to see you there. So, those are our next two events. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. So, let's go back to Afreen. I would love to hear a little bit more about. I hear you have a new grandbaby. So you want to share? I've seen pictures on Facebook because we're
Yes,
connected.
we are connected.
So tell us a little bit about your new grand and how is it in this stage of life? Because we talked about your daughter a little bit too. Give us two nuggets about being a new grandma for the second time.
Right.
And tell us something about the new grandbaby.
I am a grandmother for the second time. The My youngest grandson is only a month old, just turned a month old.
Baby.
He's a baby, yes. He still has that new baby smell about him. And then his brother is 3 years old and just absolutely love of my life. I just can't get enough of him. And they live 2.5 hours away, so that's not bad. You know, I can hop in the car and go for long weekends or for a week if they need me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we are nearing the end of our time together. If you had to leave us with a few final thoughts about what you do, if someone's thinking, oh, she does what again?
Mhm.
Tell us how people can connect with you and who are certain clients you're looking for the most.
I'm really glad you asked that question. The clients that I'm looking for are HR directors, people in charge who are making the decisions for their companies and their businesses or school systems. Private schools are a great resource for me. Uh, so any of those people, again, I'm on LinkedIn under Afreen Godi. I am on Facebook for Thoughtful Minds Consulting, as well as Instagram and my website, www.thoughtfulminds.net. So you can find me any of those places. The services that I offer, again, trauma informed care, also diversity or cultural awareness, which that's the other one that I feel that everybody needs because we just make so many assumptions and we don't know where people are coming from. We don't know their backgrounds, their stories. So I do believe that that one's the one that's most near and dear to my heart, to be honest. And then also stress management. Are you ever stressed?
Yes.
Yeah. So I provide ways of helping you to deal with that stress both on the job and at home. In the other two, we do difficult conversations. So in the workplace, and then same with the group dynamics. That's how to stress the positive things and the things that make you stand out in your position, right, at work. Everybody has a different thing that they are more talented in. So I try to emphasize the strengths of each person.
Yeah, so that is awesome. Well, I'm excited. I heard you mention DE and I, so we're going to leave the door open for you to come back. We won't, I want to ask you to share everything on our first conversation.
That's right.
So I will invite you back, and when you come back, we'll talk some more about DE and I. We'll talk about what's new with you, And then we'll just have a conversation about the community as well in general,
Yeah.
as things continue to grow and things continue to change in our companies.
All right.
So, once again, we thank you for being a guest today.
Thank you so
And
much for having
you're
me.
welcome. And thank
Very
you for
exciting.
listening to Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. Tune in. We will be back next week. Have a wonderful day. Hi, this is Kaisha McCrae. I'm a certified career and leadership coach, CEO, and founder of Growing Perspectives Career Consulting. You're listening to Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. Come and listen to us weekly as we highlight different professionals, business owners, as they share with us their career journeys, their successes, areas of growth, and more. So, once again, you can join us weekly here at Growing Perspectives with Kaisha. We are committed to supporting your growth, your success, highlighting different businesses, professionals, career paths. And once again, come grow with us and come listen in weekly to Growing Perspectives with Kaisha.